United States is more important to China than China is important to the United States. First of all, before we start, I just wanna say that there has been a comment in the comment section that made me thought a lot, that basically inspired this entire video that I wanna be talking about today. And I was actually talking about the tariffs and how China is heavily dependent on the United States. And someone in the comments mentioned that basically the argument is that you are more important to Walmart than Walmart is important to you. And that's exactly what I wanna be talking about today. But first, guys, let me just introduce myself. My name is Joe, and I talk a lot about geopolitics, about macroeconomics, and here is my sidekick, Mikey. He's already waiting here. Good boy, Mikey. Mikey. And it's starting to rain a little bit. It's starting, am I right, Mikey? Starting to rain a tiny bit, so I have to speed it up. But yeah, I just want to make sure that you've got this video recorded, because I have been thinking about this a lot. Actually, I have been thinking about this a lot. This comment made me honestly thought a lot. So the argument is that the United States is much more important to China than China is important to the United States. And basically the example is that China is Walmart in this example, in this analogy. Walmart that is producing all of the stuff, and you as a customer are the United States, okay, in this particular analogy. So you are more important to Walmart than Walmart is to you, and it's obvious. It's crystal clear. Walmart has a very tiny profit margin, only around 6%. And for example, if you as a customer just if all of the customers just stop shopping in Walmart and started shopping in the competitor, I don't know, I cannot come up with an example, but for example, for furniture, it would be IKEA, so you would start for example shopping there, and other stuff, I don't know, whole greens or stuff like that. If you would stop shopping in Walmart entirely, they would still have to move the products because they have already bought up the inventory, and so they would lower their prices in order to meet new customers. In order to basically lure you in, they would have to slash prices, which would also slash their profits. From 6%, for example, the profit margin would go to 4% or 2%. And so what would happen is that they would record on their balance sheet, or maybe even they would lose money. Sometimes this happens, this could happen when the demand lowers. So they would lower the prices, and on a balance sheet they would register loss, or for example just lower profits. And investors would start to selling the stocks. Maybe they would stick around, but usually investors, when they see bad numbers, they will start selling the stocks, and so the overall value of Walmart would go down. So in order to prevent this, Walmart does ads and stuff like that, and so the customer is extremely important to Walmart, more than you realize. You are more important to Walmart than Walmart is important to you. You can make a choice. As a consumer, you have the power of choice. And so this brings us back to the United States and China comparison. This brings us back. So important. In the comparison, Walmart was China and you have been the United States. So for example, the Chinese, for them it is the United States market is extremely important. Most of their exports go into the United States. It's extremely important for China. They are heavily dependent on the United States market. They are heavily dependent on the United States consumer. And so if people will stop spending, for example, if there might be the slowdown and recession, the R word that we don't use on this channel, and I don't mean retarded, but I mean recession. We don't use this ugly word, recession, the R word. But anyway, I'm just joking, I'm just goofing around. Guys, what I wanted to say is that China is heavily dependent on the United States, more than you realize. Same way Walmart is more heavily dependent on the customer than you realize. Now, before I end this video, I want to give you one more very important example. So please pay attention. It's from a different industry, completely different industry. It's more from a software. And I want to show you this example of consumer versus company, this particular relationship. For example, you as a consumer of apps like, you know, Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, basically all of these apps are competing for your attention. YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and TikToks, they are all competing for your eyeballs. And even though you don't realize it, there is a huge competition battle, and they go into extreme lengths in order to lure you in. For example, there's been a lot of talk that the Instagram Reels algorithm specifically puts a lot of goon baiting, a lot of basically girls twerking and dancing, or maybe even a guy thirst traps for girls. They put a lot of this in order to lure you in, because this plays into our primary instincts. This is very addictive to us, and you know, we are very hormone driven creatures. Even though we don't realize this, we are very hormone driven creatures, and these types of things lure us in and keep us watching. There is a huge competition battle between these companies in order to lure you in. It's actually big deal, more than you realize. And so you are extremely important to these companies as a consumer. You are extremely important, more than you realize. And they even go into lengths like lobbying in order to ban TikTok and stuff like that. This is a huge competition. They're trying to make their algorithm more and more addictive, more and more lure you in order to keep the eyeballs in. This is a big deal. And in this particular example, I wanted to showcase you how important the consumer is. And from perspective of China, obviously the consumer, the United States' market, the United States' consumer is extremely important. More important than the China is for United States, even though it doesn't seem like it. There's a heavy dependency. For example, for the medicine, the United States is all of the pharmaceutical components that medicine is created from are being basically shipped from China. So there is a heavy dependency. I don't deny that, but you have to understand, it is more in favor of the United States, because it's always in the favor of the consumer. That's just reality. Okay, that's just reality. It's a simple fact, guys. Okay, anyways, make sure to smash that like button, make sure to smash that subscribe button, check out all of these videos here, there, and everywhere. And as always, I will, guys, see you in the next one. Bye bye.